electric motor, which I've told you a lot about in the past. So why don't we link the CLS 450 POV review up here in the top right corner. You can check that out for a more comprehensive review of this powertrain. But for now we're just going to get in, see how this S-Class handles with this powertrain, and well, see what it's like on the Autobahn. So let's buckle up. Oh, we don't have the belt bag in here. Just for the rear passengers. The important people get one. And we'll start it up. There it goes. As you know, or maybe you don't know because you haven't seen the other videos, it has an electronic starter alternator. It's called an ISG, integrated starter generator, which is also the starter motor. So you don't hear anything. It just starts, and that also means that when you're in eco mode, you get this coast mode where the engine just turns off altogether. And we will also get rid of these dials because I don't really like them. We'll go for the classic. This S450 is the base model right now, and of course you can't help but compare it to the S560 we have also driven, which has the V8 4-liter bi-turbo engine, which has been down-tuned a bit. You know, it's the same engine that is in the C63 AMG, and that one has a lot of effortless performance, a lot of effortless power. Of course it has a V8 soundtrack, but maybe, just maybe, that this drivetrain with that all that quiet stuff and the smoothness might just be a better fit for the S-Class, because this car is ridiculously comfortable. I've got it in comfort mode right now. Let's go to eco. I can show you the coasting as well. So we're coasting, let go of the throttle, and the engine turns off altogether, and we're coasting. So we've seen this in a lot of Mercedes cars and AMG cars as well, because the E53 also had this, but it works really well because it's seamless. The transition is seamless, and it just means that it becomes a bit more efficient, and well, in the case of an S-Class it also becomes a lot more comfortable actually, because all this quiet stuff, this seamless stuff is good for an S-Class. You want that. So as I promised, we are going to go for the ambient lighting in the little tunnel, so I can show you how cool it looks. Actually don't see that much right now. It's on glacier blue, that's why. So we'll go for ocean blue. This is by far the brightest one, and as you can see it lights up the interior, but it's very cool because it's indirect light, so it shines from underneath the dashboard down. So this is all lighted up. Your foot, the footwell is lighted up, the door is lighted up, behind the screens is some lighting, and well, if we change color, you can see that you can get multiple colors as well. But these brighter colors, the purple, the red and the blue, are actually quite visible in the daylight, which, you know, as I said, it's nice. It gives you this cozy feeling in here, because you have this light interior with this light headliner and all this lighting going on. It just feels like a very cozy and comfortable place. It's like the modern version of sitting by the fireplace. And of course this car has the star up front, which gives you an almighty feeling of being the top dog on the road. So we'll get a digital speedometer going now as we are approaching the Autobahn. And you will notice again, we will test the smoothness. So why don't we do it a bit differently? Normally I just floor it and see what happens and how far I can get. But why don't we go for a a little cruise of a couple of minutes at 200 kilometers an hour, if the traffic allows for that. Because it demonstrates how comfy and just smooth all around this car is. Of course, the comfortable suspension does mean that you trade off on handling, because it is very wobbly. And it sometimes gets a bit unbalanced when you get a couple of bumps and camber changes following each other up. But overall, it is just very cloudy and comfortable. So we'll get up to 200 kilometers an hour. And again, this powertrain is not the most powerful one, but it does impress with its smoothness. You just don't really notice it's there. And the speedometer shows that you're actually going quite quickly, but you don't really feel that. So this is cruising speed 200 kilometers an hour. It's still very quiet, it's still very composed. You don't really hear that engine. And this car actually makes 200 feel like 120. Okay, it's too slow. I'm sorry. I'm gunning it. Sport. So let's see. I still can't hear that engine actually. You have to really try to find it. So, as I said, it is quite quick. 250 already. And that's the limiter, 258. Still super nice, super comfortable. Of course, we've got a little more wind and tire noise at this speed, but it's still very comfortable. So the top speed, as you just saw, 250 kilometers an hour limited, 0 to 100 kilometers an hour, 4.9 seconds, which is actually pretty quick. But that's of course because it has 4MATIC and that electric boost, which just goes from a standstill. The only problem is we weren't able to get that 4.9. We measured on our Draggy 5.4. We did it like 7 times and that was the quickest. So don't really know what's up. It was a bit wet, but we didn't have any traction problems, so I don't know. 5.4 is still pretty quick for a car this size and for the base model. Here we go. Little engine note there of that 6-cylinder. If you look at the competition, BMW 740i also has a 6-cylinder, and the Lexus LS 500h hybrid also a 6-cylinder. If I have to compare this to those two competitors, I would say that, you know, we've made a whole review about the 7 Series recently. That is really the driver's car. That is a car that you can put in sport and still feel like you're in charge. You're driving it and the car appreciates you throwing it around, even though it is a 7 Series. That car is super impressive handling wise. This car is much more about the comfort, about the quietness, the smoothness, the opulent feel you get when you sit in here with all this beautiful flowing interior design, all this leather. The finishing on this car is spot on. It is beautiful. It might be the best of all of them. And the Lexus, well, the Lexus is a bit weird. The Lexus is for people who want to drive something different. It is super impressive on all fronts, that Lexus, apart from the drivetrain, which just feels like it's 10 years old, which it is. So that Lexus sort of limps behind, and well, they're all chasing the Audi A8 55 TFSI if it comes to technology and if it comes to just feeling like a car of the present, of the future. So if you ask me, it comes down to your personal preference. Do you want something that drives well, that handles well when you want it? Do you want something that's super, a bit old world, comfortable and chic like this one? Or do you want something that's super modern and high-tech like the Audi? That kind of sums it up for the German 3. And if you want to have the old ball, you go for the Lexus, which I'm not, you know, I do recommend driving the Lexus if you're looking for a car like this, because it is exquisite, but the drivetrain is a bit old. All right, well, we're back in the Netherlands, so that means the fun is over. And that also means I'm going to end the POV review. Thanks so much for watching. You can also check out this POV review of an S63. You can check out this POV review playlist, and you can subscribe by clicking the big button right here. Don't forget to hit the bell for notifications to receive a notification when we upload a video, and follow us on social media. Just search for AutoTopNL. Thanks guys, see you at the next one. Bye.